We have to do the Joe Rogan. We have to say boom at the beginning. That's how we know we're live. Noah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
All right, guys. This is Noah Jankowski. He has like an Instagram page and stuff like that. We'll talk about more later. I've interviewed him before on JRP Daily, but never before here on the Victoria's Secret. So now we have 3 people. Hopefully our internet doesn't like shit the bed in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, that would be great.
And Noah, what are you about? Introduce yourself like a little bit.
Yep. Hey, everyone. My name is Noah Jankowski. I actually recently just turned 21. I'm a college student living in Michigan. You guys live in Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I know you guys go to both, do different schooling right now. But
Right.
So I go to university. I'm a third-year university student in an accelerated program studying economics and management. I'll be graduating this May with my bachelor's in business administration. And then I'll be heading to Huntington Bank this summer to their corporate headquarters to work as a commercial banking intern. And we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I run a fairly large page at this point.
Yeah.
Called Finance and Freedom. It's on Instagram at Finance and Freedom. And this is a page I started a little over 2.5 months ago on October 15th, because I had a passion for investing and finance and business and all that stuff. And I'm nowhere, and I told him straight from the beginning, I'm nowhere near a millionaire. I'm still learning myself. I still got a lot to go, or, quite a few, things to learn myself. And I think they ate that up, man. And
Right.
The page, it took a month to reach 1,000 followers. It took 2 months to reach, I think 10K, and now it's taking under a month to get to 20K. So it's been a pretty amazing snowball effect. We have a lot of people in the community that love to discuss, their finances, that love to discuss their problems, and I love interacting with people. So that's what I'm about. Currently a college student, love running the Instagram page on the side. Hopefully one day that becomes a brand. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me on,
Yeah.
as always.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely,
really great.
that's awesome.
Now, you said, I want to touch on this real quick. You said the snowball effect of your Instagram page is picking up, and I always wanted to ask you that. Do you think it gets easier as you go? Do you think there's a momentum element to Instagram? Do you start really picking up the pace?
Oh, for sure, because
Yeah.
I mean, just a week ago, or no, not even just a week ago, maybe 3 days ago, I had my first 1,000 follower day. So I gained over 1,000 followers in one freaking day. So to see that, it was unbelievable.
Yep.
And
That's cool.
the best part about it is I have not spent any money on shout outs or EXM or any of that stuff. I've just hustled and
That's even cooler.
Yeah.
maybe like the word of mouth. I don't know. Like that's why I treat my followers so well, and that's why I always like talk to them, because who knows who they're telling? Like you never know. It's
Right.
an Instagram page, but who knows who they're telling?
Right.
I think I really truly believe in word of mouth, and that combined with viral content, I think
Yeah.
helps a lot. And to see that growth naturally, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you've networked a lot too. I know that, and you say you work with Business Driven Dream a lot.
Yeah,
Knows what he's talking about when it comes to Instagram. You can just
Nick
tell.
definitely does, man. Yeah,
And,
he's an
yeah.
excellent online entrepreneur.
And
Social
now-
media, e-commerce in that
Now you're
realm.
now you're doing stuff with Alex too.
Yeah, with Alex Hartsup. So he had actually reached out to me in November when I was a few thousand followers, probably like 5 or 6K. I think he was still ahead of me at that time. He just reached
Yeah.
10K, by the way, so congrats
Yeah,
to
I
him.
saw that.
But he had reached out to me, and really we were a couple of the only personal brands in the finance and business realm on Instagram in that niche. We showed our faces a lot, and he had reached out to me. He said, "Hey Noah, I think it would be best if we teamed up, consolidate our efforts, maintain our brands, maintain our separate brands, kind of like a Procter and Gamble, right? They have a ton of brands under
Mhm.
one parent company, P&G.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's going to happen. We've consolidated our efforts. We're going to have, multiple websites, multiple Instagram pages, but in essence, we're creating a personal financial education company. And so far it's done really well. The ebook has sold quite a bit. So it's really cool to see. That was truly his baby, Alex's, because we established kind of our roles in the business. Mine's more partnerships, content creation, and Instagram growth. And His is more like ebooks, audiobooks, education, mentorship, stuff like that. And also the website. He does really well with the website stuff. Not that I don't know how, but he already had that infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's
we've
really cool.
consolidated this thing, and our goal for 2019 is 1 million in revenue. Extremely lofty goal, but said why not just set it up there, even if we only achieve 10% of it. Yeah, even if we only achieve 10%, that's 100.
That's worth it. All right. Well, that's no. We've tried getting Alex on here a couple of times, and I don't know.
He's something else, man. I'll tell you what. He is
something else.
He's a different kind of breed. He's told me tons of stories about himself. If you probably already know this, he was a co-founder of Swift Kicks, which is Swift Kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that page has over 1.3 million followers. It's a shoe. It's like a flip. I don't know. It's a shoe Instagram. It's about shoes and all that, flipping and all that. And he made that like several years ago with his buddy when they were starting out, and God, he's had a hell of a road, man. I think he's like 25, if I can remember correctly. So he's a few years ahead of me.
Yeah, that's very impressive for the age he's at.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, he's done really well, and so it's cool to be working with him.
I think it's just his hair. I think that's all that.
That's a part of it.
That is.
I told him he's gonna have to cut some off and fucking make it into a wig for me or something, because it is not looking good for me. I'm looking a bit like Elon Musk in the 90s right now.
I saw one of those
when he was starting PayPal. There was a meme floating around of it, and it said, "Guys with this kind of hair are blah blah, blah entrepreneurs or something." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That looks like my hair."
Hey, turning into next Elon Musk.
No, but yes.
I wouldn't need to.
Right.
I wouldn't be too worried. You look kind of like that orange that Gerard has there as his replacement microphone.
I just look terrible. I feel like I look terrible on the camera. There's no angle I can get, really. I look like either a potato, a bald-headed dude, or that orange down there. There's no good angle I can get. I would have to be standing out in front of the camera, because I'm literally just sitting on a bed right now. But the annoying orange, I love it.
Yeah, it's two Noahs on the screen right now. Anyway.
Kind of our little trademark if you've ever watched this before, except that one episode that we had a pine cone.
Hey, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going on. So I don't really know where to go from there. Where did we leave off the last time we were talking about like environmentalism last time we left off and shit like that?
Oh my God.
No, me and Noah.
Oh, okay, got it.
We talked about so much. I mean, we could really talk about current events. Like what the market's looking like. It just depends on where you guys want to go with it.
Yeah. Another thing me and Gerard just talked about last week, but we could get your spin on it, is what's going on with Patreon right now. I don't know if you follow that or follow any of the...
I know what Patreon is, but I haven't heard, like, what happened.
Well, basically, I remember correctly, they're just starting to get really... They're starting to censor a whole bunch of people. And... people are leaving left and right. Jordan Peterson pulled himself from Patreon. Dave Rubin, I think, pulled himself from Patreon. Sam Harris pulled himself from Patreon. Like all these.
One or two of the top 10 creators on Patreon were very against like what Patreon did in terms of censorship. So like, all right, we're gonna walk out, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of a protest in a way.
I mean, it is, especially if the Jordan Petersons of the world. I'm sure he was driving tens of thousands a month in funds. So that's a lot of money that's out of their pocket too.
Yeah, it is.
But that's a damn shame, because that's the same route that Reddit went. I think a couple years ago, because me and my brother talked about it. We're huge Reddit guys, and they hired this. I forgot who the CEO was. It was a woman. Not saying that was the cause of it, but she rolled out censorship policies, and you guys probably know Reddit. Reddit is just ruthless and savage. It's almost like 4chan, except a bit less fiery. But that's what Reddit is for.
Everyone needs that platform, like that platform where you can just go.
Yeah, Reddit.
Awful and terrible, and
that's why it's meant to be fiery.
And it's like, if you don't like it, then just get the fuck off of Reddit. Like,
that's why they keep it practically anonymous. Like, you can have pseudonyms on there. There's not really many pictures except for like GIFs and all that, and memes and all that shit. But the thing, the importance of that is you see what kind of people are out there and what kind of thoughts there are.
Yeah.
In all walks of life and all perspectives.
Yeah,
and that's
well,
important because then it makes you
filtered.
think. The idea behind it is regardless if it's good or bad, we learn from it.
Yeah.
Because good or bad is subjective. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard. So it's hard to censor because it's like, well, what do you consider bad?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's just.
But it's that too, and I think platforms of that nature, or even figures of that nature. I know Alex is a little bit like that. Gary Vaynerchuk, swears a lot. Andy Frisella swears a lot, and they all talk about people. And I hate it too. I'm not even like that. I don't have a problem with it because I don't swear that much. I do, clearly. I already have a couple times since we started recording this.
Mhm.
But they do talk on their shows all the time, especially Andy Frisella, that he gets the what he calls the asterisk holes, and he gets them, and they come, and they just they're there to torment people, and people do that. They go in his comments, or they go onto his lives or whatever, and they just purely try to bring him down, being like, why do you curse so much? You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, whatever. And his response to it every time is like, if you don't like it, then why are you here? And I don't know why that's
He's not trying to win followers. He's just being himself, and he's saying whoever likes it can follow me.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't, you don't have to follow.
Yeah, it works. And I don't get why that's such a hard concept for people to grasp, that you can choose to just not do the thing that you don't want to do. Like you see these speeches on college campuses trying to get shut down, all that kind of crap, and it's like, if you don't like who's speaking, don't go watch them, because
and even like the comedians that some colleges like to get for the kids for a show, or for the students, I'll say, for the students for a show. Even a lot of the comedians aren't going to colleges anymore.
Right,
because they're afraid that they're going to get ridiculed.
Students get so offended.
Yeah, that's the thing too. But the other thing too is, like, I just don't get what the point is sometimes when they're like doing these protests and whatever the hell they do when they go and have you ever watched either of you watched the Louder with Crowder series?
Oh yeah, changed my
YouTube?
mind.
Yeah,
it changed my mind. And like half the shit he gets, I love him because he just deals with it, and he just says, "Yep, no, this isn't how this works. I'm gonna set up right here, and we're gonna do this regardless of what you think." But I do really like his series. I haven't watched a lot of them because there's so many other things that I just watch. But I think that's great.
I think who I like even more than Steven Crowder, and I like Steven Crowder not because of his political views. I like him because he speaks up and he's fair. But I like we kind of touched on Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is an incredible orator, and he doesn't really talk about
one of my faves.
Yeah, he doesn't really talk about his political views. He's more of like how you should live your life to the fullest, or how to be the best person you can be. And that's what I like, because politics is just an ugly film right now.
It is.
In the United States. It's just
it really is.
And
it's so easy to get caught in it.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's what's important, is what he talks about, which is looking at yourself before you point to others and say, no, you're the people wrong. No, you got to point at yourself. I'm what's wrong. I got to figure myself out first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Freaking right.
Yeah, I like that. Right before we jumped on here, I was watching Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson on the Rubin Report, and that was fun. And we were talking about, me and Jordan were talking about Jordan Peterson on the last episode of this, and how he just I like him because he doesn't he has very clearly has right side conservative political views, but he doesn't put that political spin on everything he says. He puts like a philosophical or psychological spin on everything, and he goes through. I just smashed my microphone. He just goes through like an algorithm basically, and kind of picks it apart, and it's very logical and it's very structured.
Concise. He's like, this is why this happens and that happens because of this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he's one of the most effective debaters and speakers I've ever seen. And I mean, it's a lot for me to learn too, because I take a lot from him, and I deploy it to my pages on social media, because I believe in speaking well and speaking your mind, and that only pretty much increases your influence or like your ability to gain followers and
Right.
respect.
Yeah. That's the other thing with Jordan Peterson too. I think what helps him doing that and explaining his thought process behind everything is just simply that it goes to show that he actually thinks about his opinion before he forms it, and he doesn't just kind of get behind Gerard. He doesn't just kind of like get behind the camera and just say like, hey, you know, I think this, and then somebody's like, why? And he's like, I don't know. You know, he's not like Ocasio-Cortez, where someone can just be like, oh yeah, how do you plan on paying for that? And she's just like, well, just do it. You know, he's never a we'll just do it kind of guy. He's like, well, here's the premise, here's the criticisms, here's this, here's that, and this is the conclusion I came to. This is how.
So whoever he's debating, whatever, you know, political side, whatever mental state they're currently in, I like how he sometimes gives them credit or like throws them a bone once in a while. He's like, yeah, you make a good point, but he's like, yeah, you make a good point. However, and I like that. I think that's very important to just kind of give him a little bit here and there, because we're all, you know, we're all people in the end.
So funny that you mentioned that, because if you look at the comments on the post I had yesterday, I'm very strategic with how I comment back to
yeah, and you gotta be, yeah.
And I probably had well over a dozen people unfollow me because of the post, but I also got 10 people to follow me back because of the way I commented. And if you like, you know, if you're curious after this, go look at some of the. I mean, the comments are outrageous, but look at how I answered. Like, you know, I gave him the agreement point because, hey, it was like, hey, I respect your opinion. You know, you bring up a good point. And I'm like, well, but this is how I look at it. And then like, oh, you know, man, I just kind of overreacted. You know, I'm sorry, blah, blah, and they follow back. It's like, that's why, like, I'm not about confrontation on the page. But, but like, and that's what, and Jordan Peterson's not necessarily about confrontation either. Although he comes off like that because he's just so stern. And he's just got this wonderful way about how he speaks. It's so
he's a stoic, just like all the other
commands authority.
Philosophers ever.
Yeah, it just commands authority, and so people are just like looking up at him and all like, oh my god.
Yeah, this guy's a prophet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. And I was about to say something, and then I got a text, and then I just totally lost my train of thought there. So
no sweat, man.
Someone else come up with something.
Well, it depends on where you want to take the podcast.
Also,
I mean, do you want to be controversial or not?
Oh, I'm fine with it. That's where we kind of differ a little bit. I'm trying to kind of.
You one of these?
Yeah. Well, no, I was trying to do that because you're above me on my screen. You're
okay. Well, you're above me, so we're just gonna have like fingers pointing up to like nothing. Okay, that's all right.
Okay, but you'll notice a lot too if you watch some of the very good debaters on there. You know, Ben Shapiro is the one I watch the most, frankly. But any good debaters, like, they always are trying to work their way back to common ground first, and then start from there. It's just like the oldest debate strategy in the book. But you got to find common ground, and then once you get them to agree with you on where you're starting, it's a lot easier to explain your point, because it's like a reference point. It's not like you're just kind of spewing out what this point there's going to go like this, where they're going to be like, if we believe this, then we must believe this, you know, so on and so forth.
Which is why they ask so many questions before they start talking.
Yeah.
This is why they ask so many questions, and it's almost like Plato's. It was almost like Plato's Republic. If you've ever read Plato's Republic, Plato did that as well. He literally just asked questions and questions and questions, and then he formulated his opinion, and he basically turned it around and won every debate or argument that he had. And that's why I think Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson may be some of the only people that I can never see ever being defeated in a debate or an argument.
Right. Yeah, and they can be wrong, and they have been, and they'll both tell you that they have. But
yeah, that's just part of being human.
That's really cool. I did watch a video once that was like the 7 debate tactics that Ben Shapiro uses or something. Or that's where I picked up on that from. And another one.
Is that a Charisma on Command video?
I love that channel, dude.
Yeah, that channel's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it was. It was Chris Mark, and yeah, it was really cool though. That's where I picked up on that, and also I don't remember all 7. I remember 3 of them really well. There's that one. There's Find Common Ground. There is, like you were saying, they always ask questions. And another thing they do is that they ask for specific examples of things, and they ask specific questions. Yeah. And I know Ben Shapiro does that all the time, and he was talking about that on the Rubin Report that I was just watching, was that people like generalize all the criticisms toward him, and he said people on the internet like attack him just from everywhere. It's just atrocious how much they come at him. But he said he gets the question a lot whether or not people do that in public, and he said he can't remember a single time that anyone's ever come up to him in public and say, you know, like that you victimized me or you victimized like a person, because nobody's been victimized by him or by half the people that are victimizing everybody. But it's a mob mentality, and everybody's trying to kind of say at the same time, you know.
Yeah, and it shows you the different levels of bravery a person has in particular different situations.
Right.
Like I might be brave around my best buddies at confronting somebody if I'm with a group of friends somewhere talking to somebody and I need to say something a little bit confrontational. I'll have a much easier time doing that with like maybe friends around having my back. That mob mentality as opposed to like just being by myself.
Yeah, power in numbers. But yeah, there's that. So there's that one, and there was also the emotions. The literal facts don't care about your feelings slogan that Ben Shapiro pushes all the time, and I love watching him debate Piers Morgan on some of those.
Oh, I've seen that. I've watched so many of those videos.
He's just like
he's just so calculated. It's stupid. He knows his. He knows his next 5 moves. It's like he's making. It's like he's like playing chess in his head with the words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Already.
Amazing. But I think that might be my favorite one, is just that emotions don't win arguments. And I think people need to understand that, and that we can be sympathetic and we can have emotions, but they just don't change what it is. They don't change what's going to happen, and they don't change the outcomes of situations. They don't change anything but the way you feel about the particular situation. I think what he was debating Piers Morgan about in that one was they were talking about the school
Wasn't
shootings.
it gun control?
And gun control, yeah.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan kind of just kept trying to play the cards that, you know, I feel bad for all these kids and these families that lost their kids or whoever lost their lives and things of that nature. And, you know, the rebuttal was, we all feel bad for that, and it's tragic. That doesn't really have an effect on where we go from here.
There's just so many variables. Which is why you can't jump to legislation for the answer. Yeah. You can't legislate things, you know, into becoming, or you can't legislate like solutions. You cannot legislate solutions, because it just begins with the culture, man. It begins with the community, and it begins with the individuals. You know, these people are going to have guns and shoot people regardless. Yeah. It's just how it is, man. It's sad, very sad. And I happen to live in one of the worst, if not the worst city in the nation.
You live
in Flint. I live in Flint, Flint, Michigan.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So.
Oh, damn.
I know very well. I mean, my brother went to Kettering University, which is in downtown Flint, like one of the best engineering schools in the nation. I mean, he's told me stories about how he's asleep in his apartment. He hears gunshots, man. He's heard gunshots plenty of times a night. He's woken up and walked out on the sidewalk, and there's blood. There's literally blood on the sidewalk.
Oh, that's
probably from stabbings or stuff like that. This is not uncommon. So, like, you know, to see that, you know, to like kind of live around that. I don't live in a very bad part. I live in a decent part. So, but I went to a Flint school. I've seen the bad parts, dude. The bombed out, you know, villages and all that. Man, it's rough. But that stuff cannot be legislated into solutions, because it just begins with the culture. It really does.
And frankly, legislation doesn't stop them. It's not like that's.
In fact, you could argue
already
it
legal.
Worse in a lot of ways.
Like, there kind of already is legislation against killing people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like.
As in gun control, though.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a side, but I'm just saying, like, you need to look at it from that perspective as well as, are people getting killed by guns a lot? Yes. And is the problem? Yes.
And I think a huge problem is the fame, the infamousy, I don't know, I don't know what
Probably.
the infamous, there we go, that comes from it. And that's another thing I've watched Jordan Peterson, pull apart, and he's got a good point, and it's like the dude knows psychology or something. But it's, he made a good point that people would rather bad attention than no attention. They'd rather feel like they exist, even if they're hated, and even if they're, just infamous, purely infamous, and everybody hates them, and all they're known for is being a bad person. They'd rather exist as the worst human being they can than not exist at all. And
right, because one thing that people want more than happiness, and when you think of happiness, people want happiness. It's one of the highest things on the needs ladder. But more than happiness, people want recognition. They want to be recognized, whether it's in social surroundings or school or work, anything. People want to be recognized and told, hey, you're doing a good job, or hey,
yeah,
you're doing great, or you look nice today, something like that. People want that stuff because people want to be recognized. They don't really care if it makes them happy. They just they got the attention. Yeah, that's just the truth.
Attention is what we want. Like I said, but I think where the misconception comes is that there's three parts. There's good attention, bad attention, and no attention whatsoever. And I think a lot of people think that, okay, if we can't quite reach the good, if we can't become rich and famous and popular, then the next step down would be no attention and then becoming infamous. But that's not the order that they're in. If people can't get good attention, the next thing they go for is bad attention.
Yeah, and they'll be criminals and stuff like that. We want
attention of some sort. We want to be in the news. And I know a handful of papers and publishings online now have, openly stated that they refuse to write articles on these tragedies that come up, the school shootings or bombings or any other.
Yeah, so they won't give them attention.
Yes, any other violent tragedy that happens like that, because they think that that's a good step in the direction of it not happening anymore. And that's kind of a catch-22, because if everyone were to stop reporting them, then even if that slowed down the rate at that it was happening, no one would really know, because there would be no journalism of it out there for us to put our little heads up against and tweet about. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, and if you think about it too, attention and happiness kind of tie into each other, and a lot of people think that if they receive attention, that they're gonna be happy. But a lot of the times,
I've all seen a couple people like that online.
Oh yeah. A lot of people think the attention makes them happy. A lot of times they'll figure out the hard way that it's not the case, and then they're left, they're left thinking, what can I do to be happy? And the thing is, don't try to chase happiness. Happiness is fleeting. You just gotta live and do what you like, and it'll come.
You gotta be self-aware. We're always hearing that now too.
I think
self-awareness,
self-love too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think. Go ahead.
But I just think that self-awareness is a huge part of it. And I think people are they try to chase what everybody else's idea of happiness is sometimes, or they see, influencers, they see bigger figures, they see Gary Vaynerchuk is out here going to Jets games and has 4.5 million followers on Instagram and has all this money, and they think, well, he seems pretty friggin' happy, so maybe if I strive for 4.5 million followers and if I start going to a bunch of football games, I'm gonna be happy too. But that's not how it works.
That's not the case at all.
That's only his version.
You have to be real with yourself, and you have to.
Which is why everyone's not cut out to be an entrepreneur, and not everyone will be happy being an entrepreneur. Not everyone should be an entrepreneur, because a lot of like you guys were just saying, a lot of people's focus is becoming rich and wealthy and famous. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to do that. You can become rich working a nice career.
And
if you're just smart with your money, you can become a millionaire by 50, if not 40, if you're really, really smart with your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just a fact, man.
Yeah, it's part of being smart, and I don't know if I'd really even try to quantify, you know, how much money I need to make me happy, as long as I can. I always do. I don't know if you've watched Alex Becker's videos much on YouTube, but
I've heard of him, yeah.
I don't remember if it was even on his YouTube. I read his book too, but he always puts it in the sense that his goal is to always have enough money that he doesn't have to like worry about buying anything. Basically, he wants to not. If he wants to go buy a specific car, he doesn't have to think about his money. That's basically, he doesn't put a number on it. Usually, he doesn't say, you know, I want to have $1 million, $50 million, $100 million, anything like that. He just says his goal is to live a lifestyle where when he sees something and says, I want to buy that, he's just wealthy enough to do it and not have to pinch pennies and not have to do anything of that nature for the rest of his life and just live his life the way he wants to, you know. And he does stuff like that every once in a while, and he blows his money on stuff sometimes, but he does it because because it's what he wants to do. And, you know, he like had one of his birthday parties. He had a Star Wars themed birthday party on a private jet with like a bunch of his closest friends. And he was like, you know, he was like, that's his goal, was that he could rent out a private jet and go do that. And he didn't have to come home the next day and start pinching pennies to try to get himself back to where he was, because he's built a business that does that for him. Built a couple.
That's
businesses.
Wild. That is wild.
That is wild.
Wait, so what businesses does he have? I haven't like heard much about him.
His biggest one that he runs is Market Hero, which is an autoresponder software.
Oh shit.
It's pretty good. It's $100 a month, which is expensive for an autoresponder, but it is pretty good. I've never used it, but he talks about it in his videos all the time. And I don't know what else he's really taken off the ground. He was doing supplements for a while. That was in like the beginning stages, and he did a lot through email marketing. He started with SEO. I'll give you Alex Becker's whole story now. Here's his word of mouth for the day. But if you want to go check him out on YouTube. You know, either of you or all the people that watch this, all like the 20 viewers we get, then let's go and go check him out. He's really cool. But basically, he got out of high school. He went to the military for 4 years, I think, some amount of years. And he got to a point where his job in the military, I think, was pretty much just to clean the bathrooms. And he was kind of like, well, fuck this. I'm not happy doing this. I'm gonna get out of here somehow, and then I'm gonna have to go find something to do. And he didn't get any help at all. He is always saying too, and I know a lot of big entrepreneurs say that, is that like being in a situation where he had nothing was probably the best thing that ever happened to him, because it just forced him to make something of himself. So he learned SEO and just started going to businesses and doing SEO work for them. And
yep.
He developed Market Hero at some point, and that's kind of where most of his money comes from now. And he did a lot of email marketing, and he has done social media. He's actually trying to not do social media anymore. He just keeps posting YouTube videos about how he's quitting YouTube, which I don't quite understand yet. But
I've seen that video. And like he told his managers to stop posting on like social media.
Yeah. Like
YouTube or even Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, man.
I mean, that's him just trying to focus in and make the most out of Market Hero. I'm pretty sure is the reason he's doing that. He just doesn't want his attention split up as many ways as it was. And I think in his head, I mean, he's making money through YouTube and through Instagram and through all that. And he used to do courses. He has a couple courses, I'm pretty sure. I never looked too deep into him, but he really modeled Gary V's Instagram with the, like Gary V has the 60-second club. Alex Becker does a 10-minute club. And he gives away, you know, X amount of worth in courses and training to the people that comment in the first 10 minutes or the first however many or whatever. He did a lot of that stuff, and he did webinars and things of that nature for a while, but I think he's really just kind of strapping down into Market Hero, and I think he has one or two other ones. I cannot think of what they are right now, but I think he's just trying to focus in on like his real businesses. So
right, the ones that actually make him the most money. Yeah, he talked about the Pareto. He talked about the Pareto principle. You know, he's focusing on the 20% of efforts that make him 80% of his money. Because I guarantee social media is the small money for him.
Yeah,
I guarantee it's not that much money. And And I think a lot of pages need to understand that just going for shout outs and stuff like that, that is just short money. That's small money, and the bigger picture is partnering with brands that can actually make a difference in people's lives. And then you get paid for it because you have a platform to utilize that, you know?
Absolutely.
Which is what me and Alex are doing at the moment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you are. All right. What's up, Gerard?
Yeah, not much. Just listening and thinking.
Yeah. Gerard wants to get his Instagram kind of boosting here. He's never really gotten into the Instagram game before. He's not a business niche.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't know about business. I'm an artist. And I do not post often, so that's a huge part of it. I understand that very well. Once again, self-awareness. I know that. But yeah, I of course would love to grow my following this year, make it more actual fans of the stuff that I'm creating as opposed to my friends from like high school or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that good stuff. And hopefully eventually within a year or two's time actually make a little bit of money selling artwork online, selling it as merchandise. Right. A couple different ideas I'm bouncing around in my head.
Wait, so I have a question. So let's break this down. So do you do graphic design, or are you talking like more like oil paintings and like actual physical paintings and stuff like that?
Kind of in between. So like a lot of it's two-dimensional and a lot of it is 2D, like drawing on your computer digitally. So it might look like an oil painting, but it's not. It's fake on Photoshop. So you can draw it that way. So it's it could be an illustration of, I like doing characters. So I just did like a guy from Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, a little while ago.
So, I think I've actually been on your page before.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, cool.
Yeah, because of Justin, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like that's just an example of.
Yeah, I shared one of them.
I won't do fan art of different characters that have already been created because that's technically illegal. A lot of people do it anyway, but I don't want to be illegal because I have a moral system. Anyway. Well, anyway, but I would potentially make characters to sell as like prints, or I would even do graphic design like logos, put them on mugs. So I can do a little bit of both, but my main passion is making characters, like making 3D models for video games. I like doing these drawings on Photoshop. There are a few different things that I like to do that I'm trying to figure out how to get from how I make what I make, whether it's 2D, 3D, whatever, and then kind of put that into something that someone can buy.
So is this a business page, or is this still like a personal page?
It's technically a personal page, but I'm pretty sure there's an option on Instagram to convert it to a business page, right?
Yeah,
I think it is. I think you already have it.
You can list your name as an artist. Yeah.
I don't think I've done that. Well, it does say artist, but oh yeah, okay.
I think you have to make it a business page too.
Mm-hmm.
In order to do that. So I think it is.
So have you tried reaching out to like any of the big artist pages around here, like Beeple Crap? You ever heard of Beeple Crap?
No, I don't think I have. How do you spell it? Hold on 1 minute.
Beeple? It's BEEPLE .crap.
Oh.
It's one of the most wild pages out there. But this guy works with HP, dude. This guy works with HP and like Adobe software companies and stuff like that, and he makes a ton of money doing it. Like
these are incredibly wild.
They're outrageous, but that's
two-headed Santa on here with machine guns and.
That's where
stuff
he
I like.
That's where he makes his money. He makes this wild stuff. He just does what he likes. And so he does fairly well for himself as an artist. And I've followed him on my personal for a long time because it's just hilarious. I just like the stuff he makes.
Yeah, but I'll have to look more into him.
Yeah, and you should look at artists, suggested artists that are like him. And, dude, don't be afraid to, like, reach out to these pages. Pretty much kind of like what I did. Literally just reach out and ask them questions. Just ask them what they did.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I did on a lot of pages.
Give them attention. People like that.
Yeah.
And then down the line, just send them your work. Honestly, just send them your freaking work. Because I did that to Jason Stone, the Creator Millionaire Mentor. I did that 7 times before he answered me, and then it took another 3.
Yeah. Some just like don't get it the first time. Yeah, you just keep doing it until they.
Yeah,
they
and then it took another 3 times for him to acknowledge it and say it was good, and then it took another 3 times for him to say, hey, you want to do this for my page? You want to make stuff for my page? And then I got a shout out from him for doing it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. That's great.
And it was wild. But it's literally about the persistence and grit and being very, very resourceful. So just talk to these guys, message them. I'm sure they will be more than happy to answer.
Yeah.
If they see the message, that is because they probably get so many.
Message them something useful. At least that's the only thing.
And I hear that a lot too. Yeah.
Because
like send them a character, be like, hey, what's your honest opinion on this? Like, hey, it would mean the world if you gave me some honest feedback.
It's like, oh my gosh, Noah, how many messages? I can't imagine what this is with you. It's pretty bad for me, and I only have like 975 followers. But like, how many times a day do you get a message saying, hey, Happy New Year, are you interested in trading Forex and Bitcoin? I get so many of those.
Oh, Lord.
I don't put them down the space.
Are you
I've
interested
had accounts.
binary trading options? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Get this funny stuff. Get this funny stuff. So I've had accounts, probably over a dozen, that when I started pitch me like growth guides and all that stuff, and growth and like hey, for this we can buy you followers or blah blah blah, or we can make you grow this fast and blah blah. And then they'll reach out to me. I've had a few do this lately. Reach out to me and say, hey, Happy New Year's, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the page. I'm like 5,000 followers ahead of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, can I sell you a growth? Like, can I sell you a growth plan, dude?
I love that.
Yeah,
too.
sell it back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, some of these fucking phonies, dude. I'm like, you guys don't know, like, you guys aren't real. Like, you guys
I hate
buy
people
followers.
like that too.
Or you use fucking, like, those growth groups, like the EXM and shit. I'm like, stop. Like, stop this shit. It's madness.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough out of me.
I had
No, you're right.
page the other day with that first video I did where I put the captions on there and the little progress bar down at the bottom, and it actually looked decent because it was all edited. That was some account reached out to me, and he started saying like, yo, what he actually said, and I was like, oh my god, this kid's gonna be so full of shit. But he started out with me. He's like, yo, I really love your videos. I think they have the potential to go viral if you make them Gary Vee style with subtitles and with the title and with the time bar down at the bottom and all this. And I said, yeah, cool, thanks. I'll look into it, whatever. And then they said, I could do it for you. I want to do one for free. And I know what they're trying to do. I know they're trying to do a free one for me. And then it looks really good too. They know what they're doing with the video editing. I just don't have the resources to keep paying them to do it. But they were talking, man, they're just, some of these people on Instagram will just talk your freaking head off. And those ones are starting to get, I have this one kid that messages me like 2,000 times a day, I swear. And and he's like,
he has all that time on his hands, I guess.
I guess so. He's told me he's like 14 years old, and like props to him. I have a lot of respect for him. He's really he knows like the stock market. He's read like 20 investing books already. I'm like, damn, if I was 14 when I started doing that, I'm like, that'd be pretty great. But either way, he's always looking to me for advice, and I'm like, oh my god. He was asking me for investing advice yesterday because I have 10 shares in Roku, and Roku went up 25%, and I was like, I
good
just
call on
Roku,
that,
man. like, and then it's going back down today. Last I checked, I'm not.
You didn't sell?
No, I didn't. No, I've been holding Roku long term for a while. It's still a loss for me. I bought it a while ago. Most of it.
Oh.
I've been buying like 2 shares at a time at all sorts of different times, but I'm having Roku long term. But anyway, it was like, he was like, how'd you know to pick this? I was like, I didn't. I just have Rokus, and I like kind of the gist of the company, and I wanted to start investing in something. So I was like, fuck it. I'll invest in Roku.
Yeah.
I have no good investment advice to give.
Yeah, you're honest with him.
I'm not. I can't. First of all, you can't actually.
Yeah, I get quite a few people messaging me, probably a dozen a day about it, and I told them straight away, guys, I'm not an investing professional. I'm not licensed, so, but I can tell you, what stocks are, how they work, how to find decent ones,
Yeah.
But in the end, it's, you got to make your choice and that decision yourself.
Yeah.
It's not really that difficult. It's not as difficult as people think,
All right.
because you could just start out investing in Coca-Cola, for God's sakes. Extremely profitable company. They've been around for a long time.
The S&P 500.
Yeah, consistently profitable. They pay out dividends every quarter. Just follow Warren Buffett, dude. Warren Buffett. That's literally all you gotta do.
Yeah,
honestly.
Just follow your page, and you have 2 million pictures of Warren Buffett on there with his.
I do. He does
Yeah, it's like following Warren Buffett.
Dude, he's just absolutely my idol. So, yeah, I go above and beyond with using his pictures and his philosophy.
Yeah, I love Warren Buffett. I saw that the one e-commerce mentor posted today of Warren Buffett in his Cadillac, just like driving around.
His old Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he just don't care.
I love crazy people because they act so not rich. That's why they're so rich.
That's exactly right. I mean, Buffett is just. I mean, he started investing at 11. Was making $50,000 a year in high school.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like normal. But
yeah,
we can all learn from him. There's no doubt about it. And you can become rich. It's hard to say if you can become a billionaire. You can definitely become a millionaire, though. That's for sure.
I love watching those like little charts of it that you see of his wealth though, like growing over the year, because it just like it took off like a freaking rocket after he was like 50. It just because I mean that's how compounding works. Basically, first of all, is that if it keeps doubling, then it grows faster after a while. But it's just like, it's just going along, and it's like here's his 20s, here's his 30s, and like by 50, it's just like okay, we're up here now.
Yeah, and he's a I mean, he has tens of billions of dollars to his name, and he only owns one stock. He only owns one stock personally, and that's Berkshire Hathaway. He owns hundreds of stocks or companies. So
that's funky. That is funky, but that's pretty awesome and pretty, just incredible and valid. And I like Warren Buffett. I'm starting to like him more and more every day. Also, like everybody else that's rich and doesn't seem like they are. It's just fun. Just fun
because they're honest people. Because they're honest
watching Mark Zuckerberg with his one T-shirt. I also think I just like it because I know that's gonna be me if I ever run into a lot of money. I'm still just gonna be like shooting these videos with like a shoji board behind me.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of like crappy T-shirt on.
Like my $100 and the same hoodie that I wear in every video I ever do.
Well, it's just like it comes down to it's like if I ever reach that amount of wealth, I'm just not a material guy, man. I don't really care about suits and stuff like that. I bought one for my interview and that's it. But like I don't know how many suits I'm gonna buy in my life. Probably tops 3. I just don't care about material items.
They won't be expensive. Suits don't have to be, thousands of dollars or.
Well, I know. Like, I'll just go to JCPenney and get a damn suit, dude.
Yeah. I did that. I did that. I was in high school. I don't know if I brought this up the last time. I was a musician and I was a percussionist, and I was my senior year. I made it to all these festivals, all these orchestra festivals. And for the orchestra festivals, you had to wear a suit, and I didn't have a suit. I was like a 17-year-old sleazeball that wore sweatpants to school every day. So I had to go get a suit, and me and my dad, I don't know, my dad has honestly just always had this knack for finding things way cheaper than you would ever imagine you can find them. I have an upright piano downstairs in my kitchen. We paid $25 for that piano. And we found this suit, and the whole suit must have cost us maybe like, I don't know, somewhere from like $30 to $50. Not even like that much. Like we found the suit jacket they were just trying to get rid of. They're like, give us like $7 for it. And we're like, deal.
Okay, and yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't care if it's a little bit too big on me. It's $7. Let's go.
Yeah, well, you just save that money. Now you can invest in Roku.
A while ago. Don't trust my numbers. The point being, it was a lot cheaper than anyone else has probably ever bought a suit for.
Well, right, and it's when people ask me, like, hey, dude, what car do you want to get when you graduate college and you're just making money? I'm like, I don't know if I'll get a new car. I'll probably just buy, like, a used one, or I'll just buy a fucking Prius or something. I don't really care. It's going to save me a ton on gas, dude.
Yeah.
And then I can just invest that money, and then, hey, when it's no problem to buy a Mustang or a Challenger or something like that, when I have no problem buying that cash or something, I'll just blow my money on a Challenger or something like that.
Gerard's dad is well, I guess Gerard's down there for him and up there for me, and I don't know where he is for you, but Gerard, wherever he is, his dad is a mechanic, so Gerard already kind of has a couple of cool cars laying around.
My dad has always been really into collecting cars and working on cars and driving cars and cars.
That's awesome. Yeah, my dad actually is a design engineer at Chrysler, so automotive business runs in my family as well. Given that we're living in Michigan, so I mean he works at their headquarters. But cars for me, automotive industry, so boring. I can't stand it. So I
like looking at them. I couldn't tell you what's underneath them.
Nope, couldn't tell you.
I couldn't either.
And I don't care to know. It just bores me. It's like I can appreciate nice cars.
Absolutely, yeah.
But God, they just bore me. The business bores me. But
yeah, I'm not interested in cars. I'm just not. And
I mean, it's just if it's a good car,
right. It's good.
If it gets me point A to B, and it's durable and gives me good gas mileage, I'm psyched about that.
Pretty much like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think the one thing I would kind of blow my money on, when I am to become rich and famous, as I'm definitely going to, is I'd get a nice car. I definitely would. And
for sure.
I'd put money into getting it fixed and things of that nature, because we get all these beater cars and something goes wrong like every 2 weeks, and like my dad knows cars better than I do, and better than anyone else I really have access to besides Gerard's dad, and but it's like he doesn't always know what he's doing or know what the problem is. He's capable of playing around with it.
He knows how to find
finagle his way. He can finagle his way through a problem.
It's a lot of trial and error when he tries to fix a car. It's like, oh, let's try replacing this thing, and then we're like, nope, that didn't work. Let's try replacing another thing.
But that's the important part, is that he can maneuver around it.
Yeah. Like, he can do the things. He just can't find the problems and doesn't ever know what the actual problem is. So we'll just replace everything on the car until the issue goes away. So, but like, yeah, that's a really... And it's just... So the problem with that is that my car goes down. It's down for like 3 months at a minimum. So
Christ.
Part of wanting to have a little bit more cash is so I could just take it to a goddamn garage and be like, fix it.
Yeah.
The garages are messed up too. I don't want to deal with them because they do. A lot of them do try to just chip you. So my dad's finally making more money than he used to when I was a kid, when I was growing up, partially because I pay for myself now, for one, and partially because he's DJing now and doing that instead of the small engines he used to do. But I remember he did take his car to like Coast the one time something was wrong with it, and for his job now he really can't afford to not have a car for 3 months. So
yeah, because
not have an SUV for that matter, because usually what happens is that we just hop into someone else's car, but he needs his car to haul his trailer with all his equipment, and he finally did that. But then you go into the garage and you know what's wrong, or at least like what the problem is, and then they call you back the next day saying, hey, we checked out your car, we're going to fix this by doing this, but you also we're going to fix this, we're going to fix this, we're going to fix this, we're going to fix this. And it's like, no, I don't need all that.
No, that's not what I was asking.
Yeah, that's not what I was saying. They try to like upsell you, but they don't really give you an option with the upsells. They're just like, we're just going to do all this stuff and then charge you for it. Okay, bye. And it's like, no. And then he actually made me go, well, I had to drive him down there because he didn't have a car, and we had to go back, and we don't go to Coast anymore. He went a little bit up the wall on them and just went and took his car back before they could do anything to it. But so I don't feel like dealing with that part of garages, but at the same time, meh.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
We'll see what happens. I'll take him to Gerard's dad for the rest of my life. All right. Ooh, someone started following me. That's so exciting.
Good stuff.
Now I have 976 followers.
How's my post doing?
As opposed to Noah's 18,000. Well, if I would get off of Beeple crap here and find Noah Jankowski. Well, not Noah. Finance and Freedom. Liked by the Curious Investor and 283 others.
Not bad.
View all 20 comments.
How many?
20.
Not bad. Not bad for an hour.
Yeah, certainly not. All right, do we have anything else to go off about? We probably do, but, you know,
Probably.
I don't know what. I don't know. How long what's our time looking like?
55 minutes.
55. I think that's good. I think people start to really kind of not pay attention anymore after about 10, so now they can watch
That's
it.
all right.
All right, guys.
We feel good.
We had Noah on here today. He's over there for me. He might be over there for Gerard, too.
He's over there for me. I have no idea what it'll look
We'll see what happens. Well, Watchy won't even be on there. It'll just be like us two. Anyway, yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'll just keep asking you back again and again and again because, first of all, up to this point, you're the only one that's actually showed up to any of these interviews. First of all, hopefully Gabe does his part tonight.
And the thing is, too, it's because I care, dude.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm very down to earth, and that's how you should live life. You know, you should be very positive. It doesn't matter what status you are. I don't have a status. I'm a college student that's $25,000 in debt still. So, yeah, trust me, I'm not some Alex Becker. I'm not Gary Vee. I'm not some rich guy. That's the goal, you know, down the line. But
you're just
you guys always come back. You know, you guys are cool guys. So
Yeah,
sure.
and we appreciate that honesty.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yes. And yeah, so Noah's an authentic dude. Go follow him at Finance and Freedom on Instagram if you're not somehow already doing that. He seems to have all the followers. Go follow Gerard, who I guess might be down there or might be up there, over there, over there. Go follow Gerard at Gerard Mirabelli. That one's going to be in the description because he made his name a pain in the ass.
Well, I'll also put his in the description just because that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, obviously, clearly. And I don't know. Do you have anything else? Are you on Facebook, YouTube, something?
Yeah, plug whatever you want.
I mean, no, you can just plug Finance and Freedom. That's good for me, man.
Okay.
I know you follow me on Facebook, Justin, and my personal. That's cool.
Yeah.
But,
we don't need to give you that, but go follow Noah at wherever. Finance and Freedom. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my train of thought. Gerard's at Gerard Mirabelli. I'm at JustinRP56. And we're going to sign off now. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget about that part. Do those things and share.